Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to Questions and Answers. I'm your host, Amjad Muhammad, and I've got another 20 odd minutes or so until the end of today's episode. We will be back next week. Just for those who did miss yesterday's discussion on the 15th of Sha'ban, then please do go to Iqra TV's YouTube channel, and you will be able to find that on Monday or Tuesday. The video will be there for you to watch in case you missed it. So at least you can catch up to what should be done for future, inshallah. So I've got a couple of more questions, and I'm hopefully going to go to the email. Please do call in 01274 214 299. That's 01274 214 299. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I frequently fly with many airlines and some reject me from praying on board, but I still continue to pray regardless of mission. Should I continue to do this? Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My brother, you asked this question or this type of question several times now. Okay, so you do what has been agreed by, if you've not been given permission, then you've not been given permission. Remember, you are a guest on that plane and you should abide by the rules. It may be that the reason why they don't want people to pray is if one person prays, then everybody may stand up to pray. And if that becomes the case, it may become a safety problem, a health and safety issue. So we need to be considerate for those rules around us. Let's see. Okay, here's another one. I think there's two more and then we are done, alhamdulillah. Then we can have an enjoyable weekend because everybody would have had their questions answered. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I work for a bank in a contact center in the fraud payments team. My job involves assisting customers who can be potentially victims of scams and fraud, provide scam education and pass cases on to fraud operations team who can try investigating further and reclaim customer fraud funds. However, the job also contains calls where customers have made transactions, example, purchase a car or to another savings account, cryptocurrency, etc. So the transactions can go to accounts in which customers may be getting interest on savings account or investment returns. So once I've held a scam conversation and there are no objections as per banking processes, I can clear these payments. Is this permissible? Please note the customer would have initially initiated these payments via online banking, but due to security measures came through to me, and after having a chat, I clear the transaction. Is this wrong, sinful, and permissible to carry out such employment? Hope my question makes sense. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my brother. I think we have answered numerous questions based around working in banks. And there's two issues, obviously. One is the task itself, and the second is where we're receiving our wages from. So really, if in this kind of sector, one has to be very careful. I know many of our Muslim brothers and sisters work in this sector, but one has to be very careful because it's so difficult to avoid being engaged in some type of transaction. Now remember, interest is only one issue, okay? Interest is only one issue. There are so many other issues. There's qimar, there's gharar, there's other asharaitul fasida. There's so many issues. I know we always, when we talk about banking, we go straight to the issue of riba, interest. But that's not the only thing. I'm involved with an organization and when it comes to faith side of finance side of things rather. And I've seen in so many contracts, all modern contracts are like that, is the way they're written are such that there's so many problems with the sharait, the conditions, the clauses in there. So, you know, to be in that world is so difficult to avoid things. So that's my general answer to you. Assalamu alaikum. Is the following healthcare cash plan permitted for a UK-based customer who doesn't qualify for free dental healthcare or free prescription? You pay approximately £9 a month and £70 is paid out for one visit to the optician, £70 for one visit to dentist, and £150 for one visit to physio. If no visits are made, then the money is gone. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The question lacks some clarity because I don't understand what it means. You pay £9 a month and £70 is paid for one visit to the optician. Is that when you have paid £70 in and you reach £70, then they pay for it? And when you reach the £70, they pay for your dentist, and when you reach the £150, they pay for your physio? Is that what this means? Or does this mean that in 1 year, even though you only pay £9 a month, 150 is paid? Or, and how is this money coming about? Is this money coming about because your company, your business, or the employers are giving towards it? Or is this some kind of, what type of transaction is this? Is this an investment? So there's so many things which I need to understand before I can give a decision. It's not as easy just saying, the kind of basics. So please just elaborate on that, give me full details, and I will then be able to respond. That deals with all the chaps. Again, we've got, just over a dozen minutes. So if you do have some burning questions, please, ladies and gentlemen, then the number to phone is 01274 214 299. Here we go. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope you are well and in the best of state of health. And well, we'll just pause that question. We've got a caller who's called in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear caller.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope you're well, Mufti.
Alhamdulillah. Yourself, my brother, you keeping well?
Alhamdulillah.
Good to hear. Good to hear. How may I help you?
Just a couple of questions.
Oh, a couple.
Is around it should be two, inshallah.
Yep.
First is around the beginning times of Isha and Fajr Salah. Like, I see a lot of discrepancies, when I look at different calendars, even in the same city. So that causes me a lot of confusion because, like, my local mosque follows, like, after Maghrib, 1 hour after Maghrib. For Isha, some mosques follow, like, 1 hour 45 minutes, some follow 1 hour 30 minutes. And similarly, for Fajr beginning times, there's a lot of discrepancy. So I'm not entirely sure if sticking to the local masjid, it would be right for myself, or should I conduct my own independent research and based on that decide?
Yep, Jazakallah khair for that. Second one?
Secondly, the second was, when you're praying behind the Imam, the tashahhud, for example, like Abduhu wa Rasuluhu, if you have not read all of it and the Imam gets up for the third rakat, or the Imam does salam, shall I be completing that myself quickly, or shall I follow the Imam?
Okay, Jazakallah khair for that.
Thank you.
Barakallah feek, my brother. Assalamu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So two very interesting questions. The first time is beginning times of Isha and Fajr. Now, I've got a specific program on that for tomorrow. So if you do follow any of my social medias, my Twitter is Mufti A. Muhammad. I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram and I'm also on LinkedIn. So if you Google me, search me, you'll find that I have a program on that particular topic tomorrow, running from 11 till 12:30. It's not on Iqra TV, it's on another platform. And I will be looking at both the Hilal, as in the start of the month, and also about Fajr, Suhoor, and Isha, Taraweeh times. So here I will just give a mukhtasar, yani a simple, short response. When it comes to Isha time, we must follow a set method. And when it comes to Fajr time, we must follow a set method. We can't just arbitrarily just say we will add an hour, we will add 45 minutes, we will add 90 minutes and whatever. This is not how Salah times work. Salah times were based upon the movement of the sun. So depending on when the sun started to rise and the first light appeared on the horizon, then this was the Fajr start time. So before that is the time for Suhoor. That is the time to end Suhoor. Then the sun rises and we have dawn. Then the sun moves and it reaches to its zenith. And just after its zenith is Zawal. Then it carries on going. And then we start to see the shadows of things increasing. So when we have a shadow of one length on the item itself or two lengths, we then start Asr. Then when the sun is setting, we know this is Maghrib time when the sun is set. And then we start to look at the haze, the shade of color which is left in the sky when the sun is set. The first color you will see in the sky when the sun is set is an orange, reddy color. That will then slightly change into a lighter orange color, then into a yellowy color, and eventually into a white color, and eventually it will be absolutely pitch black. So the sun's movements is dictating our Salah time. Now, unfortunately, living in England, it's always cloudy, we don't see much sun, so therefore we can no longer rely on the movement of the sun and the shadows it's forming or the color in the sky. So what we do is we associate this phenomena with an astronomical phenomena. Okay? Because we can't, mushahada is when you observe it, and we're struggling to observe it. So we now, because there is no condition the Prophet ﷺ or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed upon us in the manner we determine the Salah times. There is in the manner in which we determine the start of the new moon, new month rather, but not in the case of salah times. So we must find a particular astronomical phenomenon and say, that is Subh Sadiq time. Okay? Or that is now Maghrib time. That is Isha time. So I have a paper on this in great detail. This is on our research centre's website, www.irtis.org.uk. And if you go to research fatwa on there, you will see a fatwa written on great detail about this whole astronomical phenomenon, about salah times, whatever, all in great detail there, inshallah. So that in a nutshell is there. So yes, you do need to carry out your own investigation to determine which masjid is giving you the correct times, because unfortunately certain timetables, and when it comes to the sighting of the new moon, it was done in a very rudimentary, very basic way by our elders. May Allah be pleased with them, and may Allah bless them. Their intentions were sincere, and they have then been carried on and on and on, even though now we're becoming aware that there's so many problems and issues with regards to that we're praying Isha even before Isha time has come in. Or we're praying Maghrib straight after and not taking refraction into consideration, that Maghrib should be a little bit later than the actual sunset time. So there's lots of things to do with this that we may not be fully aware of. But as I said, look into that, inshallah. There's a lot of information on there. The second question was with regards to tashahud, that in tashahud, a person is, at-tahiyyatu lillahi was-salawatu wat-tayyibatu, assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabiyyu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillahi salihin, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Imam should now say Allahu Akbar, and he stands for the third rakat. Let's just say Imam says Allahu Akbar, and I'm still, ashhadu an la, what should I do now? I should quickly finish my tashahud. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh, Allahu Akbar. It's only going to take me a couple of seconds, I'm right behind him. Also, I should understand that if I pray behind this Imam regularly, and I know that this Imam doesn't sit for too long in tashahud, I shouldn't be at-tahiyyatu lillahi was-salawat. I should know that, look, I haven't got time for reading this slow. I'm going to have to read it a little bit quick. At-tahiyyatu lillahi was-salawatu wat-tayyibatu, because I know Imam Sam soon going to say Allahu Akbar, I'm going to get caught down here. So it just comes with a little bit of experience in trying to understand that. Those were the two questions that our brother had for us. Jazakumullah khair, my dear respected brother, for calling in. We have a few minutes left, so if you do have a burning question which can't wait till next week, make your call now. 01274 214 299. That's 01274 214 299. In the meantime, I'll just pick up the questions that I had on here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope you are well and in the best state of health and iman by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I needed some help. Does anyone here know any resources, moral boosters for people who are spending Ramadan alone? Okay, let me quickly reply to that before I take the next caller. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear sister, this group and our Telegram channel and our YouTube channel and all our social media, we have lots of videos, we have lots of short pieces, we have lots of motivating things, we have all sorts. So find us on our social medias, follow us, alhamdulillah, and you will benefit greatly from our videos, from our fatwa, from our statements, from our moral boosters, and also those little, nice little sayings that we put up there. So follow them and share. Jazakumullah khairan. In the meantime, we had another caller calling. So assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear caller.
Wa alaikum salam, Sheikh. How are you?
I was midway through a sip. I'm very well, thank you. Jazakumullah khairan, my brother. You're keeping well.
I'm very well.
You're cutting it very fine today. You've got about 3.2 minutes.
I know. We can always answer it tomorrow.
Inshallah.
What it is, mashallah. I love you for being so honest, and you just told the previous questionnaire, brother Muslim, that you should be aware of what the Imam, if he's a regular Imam, and if he prays his prayer fast. Should you not be, please, I beg you, should you not be encouraging all the Imams, just in case any of them are watching, that take your time praying, because the beauty of being a Muslim is worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not a take, I've done my Fajr, not at take I've done my Zuhur, not at take I've done my Asr,
Absolutely.
not at take I've done my Maghrib. Akhi, come on, for dunya, we spend, maybe 22 hours. Can't we give Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala 2 hours?
Absolutely. And I think I'm going to answer that question in the last minute. So Jazakumullah khair for that reminder.
I love you as well.
And same here, alhamdulillah. My brother is absolutely on the button. He's absolutely right. So if you do have that great honor of leading us in prayer, if you have that privilege, if you've been given that status that through you, the mercy of Allah will descend upon you, and then it will be shared amongst us behind you. If you are that chosen one, then like our dear brother reminded us, take your time. The person should understand, when ulama, imams are being trained, they're trained that when you go into ruku, recite more tasbihat. Yani don't just do 3. Do 5, do 7, do 9. And nice and easy. Subhana Rabbiyal Azim. Subhana Rabbiyal Azim. Because when I'm stood up and I say, Allahu Akbar, now I'm already in ruku. But the people behind me, they're going to start moving when I get to ruku. So then they start moving. And as they're moving, I've been in ruku now for at least 2 tasbihat. So I just do one more. And then I'm Sami Allahu liman hamida. And that poor guy's just got there. He's thinking, he's back up again. Okay, so really nice and easy. Then even when we come up, Sami Allahu liman hamida, the hadith is quite careful and the fuqaha are quite considerate in saying, let each muscle and let each joint and let each bone reach its place and become stationary. Don't kind of like the way you do weightlifting where we just keep bouncing. Don't bounce. Just get there and stop. And then set off again. Allahu Akbar into sajda. Sajda again, extra tasbihat. And then when you come up, Allahu Akbar, then it's not Allahu Akbar and then flick back down again. Aram say, wait there. Allahu Akbar. Because remember, we have elderly gentlemen behind us. We have people who may be hard of hearing, so they're only going by movement that they see. Your salah should be as fast as the slowest person behind you. Now, we don't know who the slowest person is. Bilkul, not that also that we just kind of go so slow that it takes half an hour to just finish Maghrib, because there are people who are busy as well. People who've just got 5-minute break, they've run off for a 5-minute break to pray Maghrib, and then they've got to get back to work. You take 4 hours praying Maghrib, then it's going to problem. So that path in the middle. Anyway, alhamdulillah, jazakumullah khairan for all my callers. May Allah bless you all. May Allah increase you in the desire of ilm and also in the ibadat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I look forward to continue to provide this service of questions and answers next week now, inshallah, as we are now coming to an end. May Allah bless you all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.